Future evaluations of learning will be defined by their flexibility and personalization, their continuous nature, and most of all, a growing ubiquity which will be augmented as new technologies continue to emerge. Formative assessment is becoming more significant than final evaluations, as it lends to more personalized feedback that enhances learning while it happens. They are both moving beyond pen and paper tests of content knowledge towards personalized, ubiquitous assessment of sophisticated intellectual and psychosocial performances, such as collaboration, problem-solving, creativity, and persistence. Learning is undergoing a total transformation. Assessment must adapt to the needs of a knowledge-based society, and thus sense-making will drive assessment. Assessment is no longer limited to specific spaces or time, but allows for students to be immersed in a real-world scenario directly related to what they are learning. The focus is shifting to lifelong processes of learning, and there will be a particular emphasis on the measurement of cross-curricular skills, numeracy, literacy, creativity, and technological and digital literacy. Through new technologies, in particular those that are personal and mobile, learning and assessment can be infused into learners' lives. Technologies that incorporate web-based solutions can facilitate the growing ubiquitous nature of learning and assessment, potentially allowing them to be accessed whenever and wherever. Learning technologies that allow for personalization of content within a process of inquiry are particularly useful for the evolution of learning and assessment. Learning through problem-solving will continue to grow in importance, and assessment that targets problem-solving is engaging for students. Problems to be solved in the future will focus on issues like the need for more renewable energy sources. Creative and innovative solutions will be necessary. Assessment is becoming more collaborative as learners solve problems together, resulting in improved learning. This will help create learning scenarios that will be more closely related to the collaborative nature of work environments. Observation of student progress throughout the learning process is a key factor in measurement, and future assessments that employ data mining technologies will allow for student data to be more visible. Game-based assessments, in particular, are increasingly used as ways to assess problem-solving skills in context, as well as to assess other, less tangible skills, such as persistence, collaboration, and knowledge development. Portfolio assessment and peer review are becoming recognized as important assessment tools of lifelong learning in areas like collaboration, teamwork, networking, and the development of professional values. Assessment and evaluation is therefore becoming more contextual and competency-based, and emerging technologies have the potential to facilitate these kinds of assessments. Personal mobile devices can facilitate increased feedback throughout an assessment process, resulting in improved competency development. The devices are becoming increasingly associated with learning and no longer solely with personal time.
I like what you're doing right here. I would think you would need 2 instead of 1 here, and maybe check out what they're doing with carbon fiber.
All right, that's awesome, Mr. Wong. Thanks.
Have a nice evening, Ray.
Learners will be able to earn badges as they learn. Badges are becoming increasingly recognized as an alternative form of assessment for informal and formal learning alike. Badges can recognize your accomplishments as you learn and do new things. This practice makes learning publicly visible and will lead to increased motivation while making sure that the quality of feedback to learners remains high. Assessment will be timely, feedback will be constant. Personalized feedback mechanisms are important for learners to become more aware of where they are in their learning, as well as where they need to go. Timely assessment based on ongoing feedback will work as long as it is highly structured, because less structured assessment activities could have negative results. Therefore, robust and appropriate methods for assessing and evaluating ubiquitous learning should be developed. Such methods can incorporate ongoing data collection from students as they learn in order to ensure the flexibility and personalization of the learning and assessment process. Assessment designers will use this data to design contextual, performance-based assessments.
As an assessment designer, I develop approaches and tools to evaluate and communicate learner performance across different settings in a way that is transparent and easy to understand.
Learning and assessment are becoming increasingly simultaneous. Assessment data can potentially be collected while students are learning in order to better adapt learning materials to students. Game-based assessment environments can facilitate this process. As data is collected from individual learners, it can be used to create different assessment paths for each student, allowing assessment to be closely linked to learner goals. Ongoing support to teachers will be crucial to ensure that they continue to develop their formative assessment and evaluation practices for the future.